So Battlefield 6 might be the most confusing launch for me of a game that I've taken a part of. First of all, I played the campaign right away. I didn't love the campaign. It wasn't bad, and I think the story could have been really good. They just made some mistakes with it, and it felt unfinished. And then the multiplayer, I was brutal the first day we played, and after messing with some settings, I had to turn VSync off. That was the biggest thing. We learned that together on stream. My aim started to get better, and then I started to get better, and then the game really started to grow on me to the point where I played it for 12 straight hours last night, and I'm now in like almost rank 40, and I've been playing the game way too much, okay? I still think there's problems with the game. I don't think it's a perfect game, but I thought we could watch a review of specifically the multiplayer together of my friend who's mortal. Now he, since Battlefield has come out, has started to grow his channel once again. He's 8,000 subscribers away from 1 million. We need to get him there. So there's that. And two, we need to get to 100,000 subscribers on Ink TV. So you got to subscribe there as well. I think we need like 27,000, maybe something around that. Maybe 28. But yeah, I want to hear what he has to say. If you look at his review, it's divided into two sections. What I love, which is a pretty short section, and then what I don't like is a pretty big section. And I'm interested.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Hey, hi, how you doing?
No ladies, eh? Just gentlemen. I think it cut it out, but
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I have put an absurd amount of hours into Battlefield 6
Same,
already,
bro.
playing it a little bit pre-release and then playing obviously a ton once it was globally launched. I am having such a blast on this game.
I am now too. The first day I was not. Now I don't know what happened.
I said this back during the beta, but I can't remember the last time. It might have been Modern Warfare 2019 when that game launched and when Warzone launched that I was wanting to play a game this much day in and day out. Like I didn't want.
You know what's crazy though? This weekend server slam for Arc Raiders, dude. This year.
To sit here and have to edit videos or work on thumbnails. Like I just want to get back in.
That's actually
and keep
how I
playing
am
this
right
game,
now with
keep
Battlefield.
leveling up, trying out new guns and getting better at it. I am having a blast. That said, I wanted to go through today and break down my honest overall thoughts on the game. What I do really enjoy, and there's a lot of that, and then also what I think the game could improve on quite a bit, because there are some areas of concern. This game is far from flawless, and I think it could reach new heights even if they continue to update, change, and adjust things as they...
I had the invisible gun glitch happen yesterday, Clever. I had the exact... Oh, I just realized I'm blocking his face. My bad, Zach. My bad.
Already have here pretty early on into launch. So first up here, we're going to start with the good takeaways, my positive takeaways for Battlefield 6. First up, just the general gameplay here, I think feels fantastic. There are some pros and some cons with how guns function and how, certain things interact. But as far as the gameplay itself feels when you are...
As we found out yesterday on stream, there are certainly some really bad guns. Now, I think there's a bunch of good guns, but there are some bad ones too.
Getting into gunfights, you're playing around on different maps.
Random
different
bounce
modes.
spots
The game
are
just
everywhere,
feels
yes.
alive, it feels immersive, and I think that is attributed to a bunch of different things. Just the time and the passion that went into making this game, the visuals, the audio, the destruction.
The audio is really
all
good.
All of it stacked together here just creates a very real experience that I think is very unique and very fresh, a real return to form here for Battlefield that I truly do enjoy quite a bit. The maps, while we don't have a ton of them, luckily we are getting some new ones.
I feel like the amount of maps, maybe just I'm spoiled as like someone who normally plays Call of Duty. Like the COD's coming out with 16 maps at launch, and yeah, they're much smaller. But I don't know. I feel like I've already like experienced the maps, and yeah, you learn them, you play them more, and we're getting to relatively quickly, but I feel like there could be more maps.
Here soon with season 1 to stack into the rotation here. Quite a few throughout the end of
Eastwood
October,
looks
November,
dope.
December there as well. I really do enjoy all the maps. There's some that I prefer on some modes versus others.
Yeah.
Like if I really want to go all out on sniping, I'm much more looking forward to playing on Firestorm or Myrick Valley as opposed to, some domination maps or some King of the Hill maps, right? But I think there's some good variety in these. I think there definitely needs to be more large scale maps that are really like classic Battlefield stuff, but I think there's good variety of big map gameplay, very long distance fights, a lot of hectic close quarters stuff, again depending on the modes, like breakthrough on New Sobek City or whatever it is, right? Absolutely insane because you can...
Okay, I got a weird complaint. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this. So a lot of the time when I'm playing, just like have a variety of gameplays, I go in and I go into like custom multiplayer game, and I want to play, say for example, on Empire State, or I needed to get gameplay of Empire State for an Easter egg video that I was working on for today. I go in and I put in that I only want to play on Empire State. I don't care what map it's or what game mode it's on. It doesn't put me into Empire State. It either puts me into Manhattan Bridge or New Sobek City, just over and over and over. It's like it's the only two maps it wants me to play on. I don't know if anyone else is having that issue. And same thing, if I go in, just click like Breakthrough or I click Conquest, it's New Sobek City or Manhattan Bridge every single time, which I like both of the maps. I don't know. I don't know.
A shotgun for half the match, and then pull out a sniper and be successful in both situations there, and adjust as the game goes on. Really, fun diversity in gameplay from map to map there. I also love the fact that there's just a ton to do in this game. That partially is attributed to leveling being kind of slow, but there's a lot of grinds.
Okay. I've changed my mind on the leveling thing because I went hard last night. I've literally just focused on leveling up. I just went hard. I think I went up 15 levels last night. It was a lot. It was too much. Like I needed to go to bed. Like Steph messaged me. He's like, "It's time to come to bed, sweetie." My eyes were red. I was sweating. I needed a shower. It was gross. It was just a disgusting experience by everyone.
You want to go through and max rank guns, that'll take you plenty of time. You can really get used to things, adjust your setups a ton. There's a lot of different attachments and builds you could use. The camo grinds that are available here, fantastic as well. The actual assignments and the progression across things there. This is not a game that you're going to play for 2 weeks, have everything maxed out, and you're done for the next 4 years. This is a game that I think they really intentionally made with long-term grinds that would keep players on for a very long time. Now, again, I think there's pros and cons here depending on your ability to play the game.
So I know we're pausing a lot here, but this is a good point, what he's saying, right? Like Call of Duty is different than Battlefield in this way. Battlefield, it's one long grind. It's just, you start at 0, you grind your way up, you unlock everything, and then you level everything up. And there's one grind. Call of Duty has now gone the opposite of that, where it's you can level everything up, you prestige, you level everything up, you prestige. When you're prestiging like that, and especially with them implementing weapon prestiges with Black Ops 7, things need to be faster. They just do. As opposed to if it's just you do it once, it's done, it can be longer. And that's growing on me with this game. I hated it at first, but it's one of the things that's growing on me.
For a certain amount of time, if you're a very casual player who doesn't have a ton of free time, I could absolutely see how this would be a
I also freaking love assignments. I love assignments. I love
negative for you. For me, for someone who wants things to come back to and wants a lot to do in game, sort of like a checklist there, I really do enjoy the grinds that this game has added. And I think there's going to be obviously even more over time as we see new modes added in, new weapons, new things of that nature as the seasons come around. That'll be really exciting as well. This is another thing that really stood out to me. Granted, I have a really good setup here for everything that I game on when it comes to my PC, my equipment, everything like that.
Brag about it.
Very grateful, very blessed to have because of the position that you guys have put me in. But this game is insanely well optimized. I'm used to having good frames on games because this PC is overkill. It's got a
to an extreme extent. You don't need a beastly computer to run this thing well. On top of all of that, like it's just really well optimized. I lag. If I get 199, like I've gone into custom servers on Portal. If I go into a game and I have 199 ping, it feels like I have 199 ping. If I'm playing Call of Duty and I have 199 ping, I feel like I'm anywhere from a 30 ping to a 500 ping. So there's that. And then on top of that, whenever I play a game of Call of Duty, I get in a game and I immediately lag right away because of the poor optimization, not because of my connection. This game just feels good all the time.
950x 3D, a 5090 in it, like it goes crazy as is. But in most games, even when I'm still running like maxed out graphics, I'm noticing some frame dips here and there. It's not exactly flawless. Like if I want to have the best, absolute most competitive experience, no frame drops, whatever, I got to be running a lot on low, medium. Like the game.
You got the helicopter to level 50 already? I thought I was sweaty. Jesus.
Game's gonna look a little bit more ugly. Not this game. This game seems insanely well optimized. And this is something the devs talked about a lot pre-launch, about how they really dedicated optimizing console first, and that ended up benefiting their PC optimization a ton. And I feel that for sure. I can have crazy good looking graphics and hold really consistent frame rates, and that's phenomenal to me. So the optimization is fantastic. And then my last main pro takeaway, because I do want to spend more time focusing on what I think could be improved or my negative takeaways, just to have the overall constructive criticism as the main focus here. Portal. I think this is going to offer endless possibilities.
So again, this is something that grew on me. Portal the first day was a mess. All of the game modes that you got into. And then yesterday we looked at Nuketown. Nuketown was dope. I think the further Portal goes along, the better it's going to get. And the fact that just a couple days into launch, it's already as good as it is, I agree.
I mean, you guys saw maybe I was playing Shipment the first day the game was out. We posted a video on that, and it seemed like you guys really enjoyed that that style of content. It's like, this is absurd. You have places where you can train your piloting skills and fly jets around in a less stressful scenario. You're not trying to spam to get the one jet that's spawning in on the map, right? You have all sorts of ridiculous fun and out there or consistent experiences in the Portal that is phenomenal. And I think that's going to offer so much for this game long term. That's a massive win in my opinion, and maybe the biggest takeaway for all of what this game is how involved the community can be, which is just a huge W.
Probably the biggest complaint I have right now about Portal, and I feel like this needs to be said, is that on Portal right now, if you go to create your own server just for you to play in, like I needed to go get footage for an Easter egg on Empire State. I tried to create my own lobby. When you go to host your own lobby, it says the queue is full because too many people have created servers. They got to do something about that. The fact that I should just be able to create my own server, play with you guys if I want to, like on stream, and it just doesn't work like that right now, unfortunately.
Now let's shift over to my negative takeaways, what I don't love about Battlefield 6 so far. And keep in mind, as we are going through everything here, if you guys enjoy the video, you agree with the points that I'm bringing up here, you want to help share it around and get more eyes on it. So hopefully we can have that positive impact on the game. Do me a favor, drop a like. It's always seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, which I know a lot of you are checking out the Battlefield content for the first time, I always got you covered.
Okay, you just said the game's unplayable on console. It's blurry. Dude, you got to go into your settings. You got to turn off all the motion blurs, all the film grain, all of that crap. It's night and day difference. I don't know why it's on by default, but trust me, try it and play the game again. You'll thank me later.
Everything you need to know for Battlefield content, whether it's new updates, tips and tricks in game, best weapons and setups to be using, it's all here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and help get us one step closer to hitting 1 million. So for my initial negative takeaways here, I want to start out with the progression line. As I just mentioned in my positives and my pros, there's so much to do in this game. You can max weapons out for a while, going after camos, going after attachments, things of that nature. But I don't think it's the easiest to figure out what you're doing in terms of plotting a course, plotting a path of what you want to level, right? Like, I want to be able to see, okay, the max level for this rifle is 46, but really, if I just want the main stuff, I only have to worry about getting it to 40. Instead, I got to sort through all the different attachments.
Okay, yeah, like there could be like a better path to see what you unlock at each level. I do agree with that.
Categories and say, okay, that's good. I get that at 39. Oh, wait, no, I get this at 41. Oh, but this is at 44, so I got to go all the way up to that. And like, it's just not super easy to figure out how much there is to things without that true progression line. I really wish there was that individualized for weapons, individualized for your overall career as well. So you can see at rank 50, you're unlocking this. At rank 100, you'll get this stuff, so on and so forth, right? So an actual progression line just as a feature, I think would be really useful in terms of streamlining the menu system, which I'll talk about in a little bit as well. And I think that could really be helpful for all players. Dude, good, bad.
I'm pretty sure my most liked tweet of all time is the one I tweeted about the menus. I'll
average,
pull it up.
whatever the case is there, just makes life a little bit easier. Another negative, the weapon leveling as it stands. Again, as I mentioned in the pros, this is not a game that's intended to be beat entirely in a month. Like in Call of Duty, I have every gun maxed out. I've got the max camos in 3 weeks because I put so much time into them, and I don't really have to do anything for the rest of the year, which is my own fault, but it does make the game a little bit more boring for players who avidly go after and adamantly go after the grinds very early on. This is not that type of game. There will be a lot to do for a long time. At the same time, though, this is a game that appeals heavily to a casual audience, to players that don't have hours and hours and hours every day or even every week to put into maxing out a gun to get a really good attachment or to try and get.
Yeah, so this is the most, I'm pretty sure, like one of my most viewed tweets of all time. It's sitting at almost 1 million views. And it's just simply, okay, I know we're on full-on Battlefield 6 glazing mode, but can we all agree that the menus in this game are absolutely horrible? And it's again, it's just like the Hulu menus. It's brutal. They're horrible.
Get some of the cool camos and whatnot. The weapon leveling is painfully slow. I really liked where it was in the beta. it's really rough now. And for players who aren't getting a ton of kills, maybe they're playing the objective a little bit more, or maybe they're still getting used to how this game functions. It means they're going to be stuck with weapons that aren't optimized, that don't really have many good attachments for a while, and I think that's going to limit their experience pretty heavily, and so I am really worried about that. And it does seem like this is something the devs are actively tuned into.
Yeah, it's a very tough thing, right? So to be able to, I think what they could do is they could make it a lot easier to unlock attachments. So in other words, more attachments unlock at lower levels, whereas things like cosmetics, like camos and the blueprints, take longer. So you leave the grind for level 50 the same, but you have everything for a weapon unlocked by like 25. Does that make sense? Because then the casual could have access to all of the attachments with a minimal amount of grind, but if you want the cosmetic stuff, it's going to be a bigger grind. I think that would make sense.
And likely we'll be adjusting this as time goes on, maybe even by the time this video goes out. I've got no idea what day I'm posting this because I have a billion different videos I need to upload, and YouTube only gives me 3 notifications a day, right? So it's definitely something I'm keeping an eye on, and I hope will be slightly adjusted. Speaking of things that are overly convoluted and a little bit annoying, the settings menu. There's so much. Yeah, I feel like you guys saw the settings video. It's one of my best videos.
It's one of your,
to the entire year. And
I thought he was going to say ever. I thought he was going to say ever.
To be my best video of the year, which I really appreciate you guys for all the love on that. But that was a 20-minute video, and that was me speed running it because we.
Yeah, he's very, very right here. And the thing is I use some of his settings, and I still think some of them are wrong, at least for me. So it's like, dude, like the amount of settings you need to go through just to have good controller settings on PC is insane. Like, why does it need to be that much? It doesn't. It's wrong. I think this is one of those things that they promote as a positive. Oh, there's so many settings. You can make the game feel. No, this is just bad game design. You have made your game feel bad out of the box. That's bad. That's a very bad thing. Like, can we just say that?
Already the basis of the beta where we knew what settings worked in some cases, so I could get through it a little bit quicker. Going one by one in the settings menu would take 40 minutes to get things right. It almost did when I was first setting things up. Like, you need a PhD to figure out everything. It's way too convoluted. It's just not good. I don't really know how they make it better because there are so many good settings in this game that they need to go through and have. So,
Dead Zone, yes. The rest should just be the way the game feels. So, like, having to switch your, like, slowdown speed while aiming to 70% and everyone has to do the same thing. Just get rid of that setting. Make that the setting. I don't like it. Okay. I don't think we should be praising them for making the game feel bad out of the box. Same with like having film grain on, like we just talked about. Same with having weapon and world motion blur. Like, we're not trying to create like a Michael Bay film with lens flares everywhere. We're trying to play a good video game. And when everyone turns it off to begin with, why is that even a setting that's on base?
Available so you can really customize your experience, but man,
I don't know. That's my opinion.
It's really extra, I think is the way to put it, right? Like, it's a little bit overwhelming, especially as like a casual player. I could see how you go in that and you're like, I don't know what any of this means.
And if you're playing on PC, even if you're playing on console controller and you go in and you're a casual player, the game's going to feel horrible to you.
Have to go watch my settings video maybe where I can walk you through some stuff. Another thing that I haven't loved so far, I play hybrid when it comes to Battlefield, right? Which means I go back and forth a ton between keyboard and mouse and controller. Now, for Battlefield, I personally prefer keyboard and mouse, and that's typically what I've always played on for Battlefield, even though I'm not that great at keys. But controller this year, while I can do okay with it, just still feels off, and it felt a little bit off in the beta. It just didn't feel smooth.
It feels good
all
to
the
me
time.
now.
It's really hard to fine-tune sensitivities
Yes,
for controller
this is true.
between it feeling way too snappy and way too flicky and way too floaty and not responsive. This, I guess, sort of ties into the settings being so convoluted. But even as you're adjusting things, the controller sense,
like we were saying at the beginning of the stream,
does,
it took me 2 days to make my controller actually feel good, and the setting that actually made it feel good was a graphics setting, not a controller setting.
Does just feel a little bit off, and it's hard to pinpoint why exactly it feels so off. But I'm always just, when I am using controller, wondering, do I need to adjust this more? Do I need to adjust that more? You know, as I do this, well, okay, it feels better for that gunfight, but then the next game I'm feeling off again. Controller just doesn't feel fully optimized here in general. And it's sort of piggybacking off of that, another thing that I'm not a huge fan of so far, just because it seems kind of buggy, is the keybinds in this game. They feel kind of finicky,
something I haven't used. So
I've changed my keybinds for a bunch of different things, and at times it doesn't seem like things save correctly, or because I'm overriding things that do various different inputs on vehicles versus infantry versus whatever, they don't always function as intended. Sometimes it feels like I'm trying to ping something and it's not pinging, or I want to do something in game and the keybind seems kind of delayed or off. They just seem like they're, again, not fully optimized, not fully fine-tuned there, which absolutely is something that could be fixed or adjusted over time. Not too worried or not too concerned about that one, but it is something that stood out as a negative for me initially here. Another thing that I found myself constantly looking like an idiot for in game, trying to mantle things that I absolutely should be able to mantle in game. This is always my rule of thumb, not just you know, in Battlefield, but in all games. In real life, if I could do something that my character could not do, which keep in mind, I mean, I work out a lot. I'm decently athletic, but I'm not like combat soldier trained by any means. If I feel like I could jump over a wall in real life, I think my character should be able to do it in game.
There's a million situations like that,
and
man.
there are times where, man, I can jump over a wall and I can see and I can peek around, and as I'm spamming a jump, easily see over, but I can't mantle it for some reason. And I feel like I could do that a lot more in the beta. I don't know if they changed something for launch, but like the mantle heights and the consistency of what I can or cannot mantle seems very inconsistent and really obnoxious. And like I said, it leads to me looking very stupid in game, where I'm just sitting there spamming
bouncing
a jump
into
up
wall
and down because I'm trying to get over.
You know what makes it even weirder is sometimes you jump into that wall for a while and it doesn't let you mount it, and then all of a sudden it does.
For a wall, and then I don't. I have to go and take the long way around, right? Or I have to put down my ladder on assault and walk over a wall that I feel like I should absolutely be able to get over, or an edge that I should be able to get over there. So the mantle heights, I feel like, need some work, mainly for my dignity. Please, Battlefield, if you're out there listening. Another thing that I think could be refined a little bit is the portal search and the availability options there. Specifically,
it's
when
a
it
little buggy.
comes to persistent lobbies and like the true server browser feel. This is something that, again, has been a main topic since they ever announced the server browser and the portal option and the custom search, is the ability to
So for example, it's very difficult. So try this right now. Go into Portal. Look for a game on what's not a very popular. Empire State was one I had trouble finding, or Iberian Offensive, for example. Go search for that and try to get into a game. It doesn't work. You just have to scroll through the menu, and then it might be on the wrong game mode, and then it might not have any players in it, and then you might not be able to host a lobby for it. It's
easily
a
find
problem.
things. I've already had situations where I'm trying to custom search and I just want to play one mode on one map, and it cues me into that mode on a completely different map. Again, this is something the devs seem like they are tuned into and well aware of and working on, but it is something that I found a little bit obnoxious. Like, I'm trying to just queue for Manhattan, or I'm trying to just queue for this other map, right? And then it throws me into something I'm not looking to play because I'm not using guns for that map, or I'm not looking for that play style right now. And it's like, okay, well, now I got to back out and try it again and hope that it works. So I think the portal search, the custom search, criteria could be refined a little bit as well. Another thing that I'm not just a huge fan of so far, I get blinded a lot in this game just by the lens flares. And this is something I've seen you guys comment about a ton already as well on all the videos, is, when you're looking out of a window, can you see, if you look this
Okay,
direction,
so put lens flare aside. Okay. Door. There's a door in front of me, okay? We're going full screen for this. Door. We got a door, okay? Inside, where I am, is dark. Outside, sunny. If I am inside the door looking out, can't see shit. If I am outside the door looking in, too dark. Too light out, too dark in. Okay, you don't have to open the door. There's no door. The door is open. That's a problem. Warzone had that problem for 3 straight years, and I'm guessing it's probably going to be a problem in the Battle Royale. Just guessing.
On this map,
visibility, player visibility.
I think the universal answer in a lot of these situations is no. There are some insane lens flares in this game. I've messed with my brightness, turning off and turning on various different settings, lowering qualities, and there are just certain instances where the lighting in this game is out of control bright, and you just can't see what's going on. There is, I guess, a realism aspect to that, but also, what if I had sunglasses on and I could just see, right? So it definitely, I think, needs some work. Again, just tuning things. The sun might need to be nerfed a little.
Well, don't get me wrong. Before Warzone fixed that lighting so that it could actually be really dark inside, the game looked better. Like, go and look at Verdansk lighting before and after indoors. Like, there's a couple comparisons out on the internet. It looked better in the original one, but it played worse, right?
A bit on some maps and at some angles for sure. And then the last thing I want to bring up here, just as another negative that I don't love, and I sort of alluded to this back at the start, is the menus. You know, there's no progression line, so I can't see that easy. I don't like the
Netflix
Hulu menu era that we're in like all games right now. They're just ugly.
Well, Call of Duty did fix this one. They went away from it after kind of Modern Warfare 3.
Menus. I didn't like them in the beta. They didn't change very much. I don't like the menus now. They're just kind of annoying to navigate at times. Not a game-breaking thing by any means. It's just a little bit obnoxious, and it's something that is extra that I don't think is necessary by any means. Like vertical menus, classic stuff like that, straightforward, easy to navigate. These ones are just annoying. I think that's the easiest way to put it, right? But like I said at the start, for the most part, I am loving this game. I have my, quarrels with it here and there, but for the most part.
All right, I'll be real with you guys. I think he's putting it to an end there. I'll be real with you guys. Again, this is the most a game's growing on me in a very long time. Now, longevity-wise, this is going to be the opinion that everyone disagrees with me with. So it's a good thing, YouTube, it's at the end of the video. I don't know what the longevity of this game is going to look like. I don't. Like, once you've leveled up, once you've unlocked all the stuff, I guess they're going to be doing the full live service model where a bunch of new weapons, and then you'll probably have to do challenges for those. And will the game feel different though? Right? It's honestly a similar problem I have with Call of Duty, right? When every single season, all you do is add in a game mode that I've already experienced before in the past, it doesn't really keep me there. It's like that grind, the events, the things like that. I don't know. Maybe it does it. Maybe it doesn't. I that's the one thing that I am questioning with this game, because right now they've got me reined in, but we're 2 weeks away. Yeah, 2 weeks away from Arc Raiders. That's going to draw me right in. And I know that how that game's going to keep me, right? Like the wipes, I know how that game's going to keep me. And then Call of Duty is going to come out, and I'm going to be doing the weapon grind and all of that crap for that. But can Battlefield hold the people? That's the question. It got the people. It reined them right in. But can it keep them? And they're doing a good job. But will it? It's a good question. It's a good question.